Hi. Many businesses in Australia start as trusts due to the tax flexibility and asset protection benefits. However, as the business grows, restructuring to a company can provide lower tax rates, better succession planning, and a few compliance issues. So if it's done correctly, converting a trust to a company can be quite tax effective. But careful planning is required to avoid triggering any unnecessary capital gains and Division 7A issues, or even stamp duty costs. So why would you convert from a trust to a company if that's the structure you're operating in? Well, while trusts provide flexibility, they can also come with limitations and increasing scrutiny from the ATO. A company structure can offer you lower fixed tax rate, i.e. a company, a small business can pay tax at a flat 25%, whereas if you're comparing to trusts where individuals are beneficiaries, they can be taxed up to 47%. So depending on your earnings, it could be a significant gain. The reinvestment of profits. Companies can retain earnings to fund growth and business investment, whereas trusts must distribute all of their profits, even if they don't actually take them personally. There's easier business succession. Transferring shares in a company is more straightforward than changing trust beneficiaries. There's better access to investors and lenders. Companies provide a clearer ownership structure, making it more attractive to banks and investors. There's some business incentives. Certain government tax incentives such as R&D grants and the like are available to companies. However, companies do have a downside, and that downside is the loss of a 50% CGT discount for any sale of assets on a capital basis. So you can see that there are some significant benefits. There might be a small downside, particularly if you hold significant assets in a company, which generally speaking, only a few may do these days. So transferring your assets from a trust to a company, whilst it can trigger CGT, there are some rollover exemptions that you can access. So there's one where a trust can transfer assets wholly to a company without triggering CGT, where the trust requires the sole shareholder to be the only beneficiary. So there's other trusts where a unit trust can roll over its units to shareholders and get concessions, and there's a small business restructure, which is available to small businesses without any tax consequences. But again, there's certain eligibility requirements that might not suit your particular circumstances, but without investigating, you might not know. You need to be wary of stamp duty on any transfers of any assets, and that can vary across the states, but again, something that you need to consider. The other thing you need to consider is dealing with trust tax losses. So generally, those tax losses in the trust can't be transferred over to a company. So obviously the timing of the transfer is important, because you would absorb trust losses before looking to transfer from a trust to a company. And Division 7A loans, if a trust has unpaid present entitlements or loans to a corporate beneficiary, these may be loans that are subject to Division 7A when you do transfer. So you need to be mindful of that as well. So you can see there's a bit to do if you're considering transferring from a trust to a company, but similarly, there are some significant advantages. So if you are operating in a trust, I suggest you get some advice in terms of what could be the best long-term tax strategy for you, because you could save yourself a significant amount of money. And the fact that you're in one structure does not mean that you can't change to another. So there are options out there, and I think it's best that you consider those if you want to save tax long term, which can add up to quite a significant amount of money. So whilst it might have been a little technical, I hope I wasn't too over the top, and I hope you got some value from it. If you need any more assistance, do reach out. We're here to help. So I hope you got some value. Thanks for listening, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.